Divine love, blessings and increasings, all that I have and all that I receive. Those are words that I learned when I first began going to Unity. Unity is a non-denominational church, and what I love most about Unity is that the way in which the people, whether it be Eric Butterworth, who started Unity in the first place, or even his wife, who was responsible for doing the meditations during the services. I felt like it was really. I began going to Unity as a little girl, and I began going there at the location of Lincoln Center. What I have to say that stood out most is how they allowed everyone to join in on their services, no matter what your background was. I remember the homeless people coming in off the streets of Manhattan on the first floor and just sitting. No one looked at them funny, no one asked any questions. They just appreciated them as well as everyone else joining the congregation. Now, Lincoln Center is also where I actually witnessed my first opera, I believe, too. So when you look at the balcony, beautiful place. From the ground floor to the top floor, and I believe I used to go up on the third or fourth floor in regards to being in the congregation and listening to the actual lessons. I love the way that both parties, Eric Butterworth as well as his wife, Olga, connected with the people. They never saw themselves on a hierarchy. I feel as though they were very personable. Before Eric Butterworth passed away, as well as his wife, Olga, I have to say that I connected with them. They shook my hand. They were always human beings. They were humble towards the congregation of people that came. They realized that the messages that they had, that they shared with the congregation, meant more than just them. Sometimes we get on a pedestal and we see ourselves as being the hierarchy, and we forget the people. When you're head of any organization, you cannot forget the people, because it's the people who have brought you or placed you in that position, and it will be the people sometimes who will have you question who you are and why you were there in the first place. Sometimes people will make statements and they'll say, oh, that's just so-and-so, or that's just, who's just what? It's important that we look at people and be respectful of other people. Sure, you're going to have a spat here and there, disappointment in that person, or maybe you just won't get along with people all of the time. But part of being on this spiritual quest, which we all are on, whether we realize it or not, we're all going through our own spiritual changes. God is in all of our lives for a reason, to wake us up and help us to realize that we are not just here for no reason. We're all here to connect. We're all here to learn. We're all here to grow. You know, same experience. Like I said, even when I went to the United Nations, it was a strong feeling that I received when I went and I took a tour of the United Nations building. And I actually got to see where everyone sits and everyone makes these decisions and where they meet and talk. We all have a job to do on this planet, in this world. We all must look at each other and be able to say, I am going to at least listen to this next person, or I'm going to at least try to be compassionate towards the next person. Because in a lot of cases, we don't find ourselves being humbled enough. And we look at people and we look down on them. You know, I was on the bus earlier today, and this man was asleep. And when he woke up, he realized he had to go to the bathroom. So he tried to run out and grab his things at the same time. It didn't work out very well. So he ended up going to the bathroom on himself on his way out of the bus. Now, of course, this could not be very comfortable for him, and it wasn't comfortable for the people who watched it either. But he at least tried. So try to be more humble. Try to be more of a humanitarian. Try not to be so judgmental of the next person. For that very position that you've placed that person in, you might find yourself in one day. So let us at least attempt to be more of a humanitarian. Love your brother as well as your sister, and see them as human, knowing that they're going to make mistakes just as we are going to make mistakes. And we are trying to grow here. We're trying to learn here. And we're trying to be the people that we want to see in the world today. Thank you so much for joining us. Indigo Moon.